Hi guys! Today this video is going to be all about my wedding cake. Before you ask, this crown that I'm wearing is the same that I wore on my wedding day. And I'm going to do all the videos about my wedding wearing this because I love it. And probably I'm never wearing it again. Well, maybe my daughter, when I have a daughter, if I have a daughter in the future, maybe if she likes it, she's gonna wear it. But I'm loving it and I'm wearing it. So today I'm going to show you pictures, I'm going to tell you the ideas and all about my marvelous wedding cake. So if you're thinking about your wedding cake or you just want to see how big mine was, just keep watching. The first thing, the only thing that I knew for starts about my wedding cake is that it had to be big. We see that princess weddings, that Lebanese weddings, they have such beautiful, big, huge cakes, so mine had to be big too. In the end, my cake was a 5-tire cake. It had 1.7 meters. Only the cake, if you put it above the table, was about 2.2 meters, higher than me, of course, and my fiancé at the time, today husband. So my first inspiration was Queen Elizabeth's wedding cake. I'm going to show you pictures of the details. It had little corners with angels, so I really wanted mine to be inspired on that beautiful, I think it was the most beautiful wedding cake ever made, after mine of course. So it had so many details. It had little angels on the corners which looked like windows, so mine had it too. I asked the cake lady to do something just like that. I wanted that corner with flowers and angels on my cake too, and also on the little windows I wanted to put my initials and my fiance's initials, and she did it. Second thing about my wedding cake that probably most of you want too. They are flowers. They are so cute and they are so fancy. So on the top of the cake, I didn't want the groom and bride on the top of the cake. I wanted a big round bunch of flowers. So that's what I did. Above all the cake, I asked her to put a bunch of sugar flowers. And also I saw on William and Kate's cake that flowers dripping on the corner of the cakes. So I also asked on the bottom of the cake flowers dripping, and also little flowers on every round corner of the bottom of my cake. And then guys, when I was a kid on the 90s. So on that time, it was such a trend to have the Greek columns on the wedding cakes. And I wanted it on mine too. Many people told me, it's so old-fashioned, don't do this. But on my dreams, I had these columns since I was a kid. So I put little small columns on the top of my cake too. Another inspiration that I had, which is so amazing, is Grace Kelly's wedding cake. Guys, if you see it, it has a little gazebo that I wanted on mine too. But I just didn't want my cake to look like a place, like a gazebo. I wanted to look like food, like a wedding cake. So I asked my cake baker to do a round structure almost looking like a gazebo, and inside of it flowers and angels. So that's what she did. doing a project by myself on my computer, on Paint, of the cake, just exactly how I wanted it to be. My cake baker, she has such a name on my city. Her name is Lucinha Cascão. I'll put her Instagram link below. She hired an architect just to do the project of my cake after I showed them what I wanted it to be. Oh, and I can't forget either that I wanted my initials and my fiance's initials on the middle of the cake, looking at my guests, looking at the camera, to appear on every picture. When anyone wants to take a picture, of course. Let's talk about the taste. I know in the US the range of possibilities of wedding cakes flavors are enormous. People make chocolate cakes, people can make white chocolate cakes, but in my country the tradition of wedding cakes are just flavored on fruit. Dry fruit with wine wedding cakes. And I didn't want to leave the tradition, so my wedding cake was made of dry fruits and wine, and it's so delicious. I asked my cake designer to put a thick layer of almond paste. Really sweet, really smooth. It's really delicious, a little bit more expensive, but everyone loved it. Even the kids. The kids like more chocolate cake, but the kids, even my husband that likes more chocolate cake, loved this. So in the end, let's not forget, what about the price? What about the price? Well, it was not cheap. I mean, my father paid for all the wedding, my father and my mother. And my mother was very understanding on every part of my wedding. On every part of my wedding, she didn't complain. Only about the cake. When I went to my cake designer, I talked to her and she told me the price. And then my mother came to me and said, Belly, I'm not gonna spend this amount of money on a wedding cake. It's a sin. It's the price of a car. You're not having this wedding cake. And I was like, oh my God, I know it's really expensive. And she said, there's no reason why anyone should pay this amount of money on a wedding cake. And I told her, this is my dream, please do this. But on that day, we left the cake designer place without buying anything. My mother angry with me in telling me that she was never going to buy this. But then I went home, I called the cake designer, I asked her for a better price. I negotiated with my mother. She made me a discount. My mother agreed. My father never knew about the price of the cake. It's still a secret for today. So it was not cheap, but I knew how to negotiate and make a better price. And I was really happy with my wedding cake. Such a shame it can't last more than the night of the party. I wish I could have it here on my house, decorating the house as a memory, but it's okay. Actually, I still have some slices of the cake on my fridge. So 1 year after the wedding, me and my husband should eat it for good luck. Of course I'll do this. I'll show you some pictures of my wedding cake so you can tell me what do you think. like this video. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell. If you want to see my previous video about my wedding makeup or my previous video about my wedding dress, just hit the link. Kisses, see you on my next video.